everybody. Welcome to Resilience plus Rise, the podcast for those who refuse to settle, for those who carve more than success, and who are ready to rise beyond. In every episode, we dive deep into the principles based on my upcoming book, Resilience plus Rise 26.2 Transformative Miles to Unleash Your Marathon of Life Mindset, releasing early 2025. This is where life's hardest challenges become the fire that forges your boldest breakthroughs. Whether you're the edge of reinvention, chasing that dream that feels just out of reach, or yearning to reclaim the passion that once set you ablaze. Hope this podcast will give you that unshakable momentum you hear right now. My name is Thomas Scaria. I'm a coach, an ultra marathoner, and a relentless believer in your next powerful chapter. Together, we will shatter limits, rewrite your narrative, and rise, not despite the struggles, but because of it. So, guys, as I mentioned, this podcast is for those who refuse to settle, those who carve more than success. Today, I'm so excited to introduce to you a personality who was known as Kristen Karma, a pop star charting on iTunes, opening for Akon, playing for Lady Gaga's VIP after parties, collaborating with different artists like Little John, and performing for fans all around the globe. But here's the plot twist: she left the music industry, as she says for now, and to dive into the world of business, the corporate business, nevertheless. She has traded the stage for strategy, going out from hit singles to project milestones of project management and looking into event budgets because she realized her calling was not just creating songs, it was creating solution that drives impact and transformation. Was that the end of it? No, she pivoted again to move into the world of coaching. She's embracing the change, taking risk, and finding successes in unexpected places. It's my honor over here to introduce to you Kristen Karma Nizuk. Sorry if I got that wrong, but that's it. Welcome to the podcast, Kristen.
Thank you so much for having me.
It is an absolute wonder. And of course, when I had read your background, my first talk was okay. You come from, for me, yes, you come from a project background because even I've worked around in project management for a while. That was okay. But when I went and saw your background, wow, a pop star. So you would again, what the narratives of the mind say. She could have got it into music industry, more into business music or something like that, or business software or business analytics for music. And but she went into a total different trajectory, project management, and from there into coaching. So if you could take us through your journey, and I don't think so it would have been like a cold turkey, like I say at one point of time I was a smoker and I said one fine day, okay, I'm not smoking. And it was a cold turkey. I just got my change, it's done. How was the journey for you?
So I have been in the music industry since, I was 15, 16. I started my own business. I wanted to just write songs, and that was my original thing, how to make an impact. If somebody could listen to the lyrics that I wrote and it could resonate, that was a huge, huge, huge thing for me. I had my grandfather pass away. I had, my mother who had cancer 3 times. And the first time around, I wanted something where they could, feel what I was feeling through the music. And so that kind of got me started in the music industry. I did go to school for audio engineering, to how to record bands and work in the studio. and it was doing well. I mean, I didn't set out to be famous or to get a lot of fans. All I wanted to do was really, really make an impact, which has really, you know, stayed with me this whole duration. I was performing. I'm a real go-getter. So I was performing for stage, big stages, or like you mentioned, opening for Akon. That was a huge, huge milestone for me. And even, making all these connections for opening for certain people or collaborating and all this kind of stuff. And unfortunately, when COVID hit, that put my plans on hold. I had released my latest single at the time in 2019 called Dear John, which
Yeah, John.
was written for my father who passed away. And I co-wrote it with a friend of mine who she also had a passing in her family. And, it did really, really well. And unfortunately, with COVID, it shut down a lot of music venues. Everybody had to pivot to online. Everybody had to find creative ways to get their music across. And for me, I was, still learning guitar, and I didn't have all these different instruments around me that I could use to play online shows, because my shows were very, very involved and very impactful and loud and electronic pop, and I really wanted to, get the crowd moving, and I
Hmm.
couldn't get that across on a screen. So I decided, if COVID's here for the long run, what can I do to better my skills, better myself, and continuously learn new things? So I was looking for different programs online that I possibly could take, and I found this program which incorporated a bachelor's in business as well as project management. And I said, okay, I'm organized, so let's give it a go. Didn't know anything and just kind of dove right in. And to my surprise, I absolutely fell in love with business, even
Okay.
on a deeper level than anything. Strategy, change, how to adapt, and all the project management stuff that came with it. And so, when I was getting ready to graduate, I decided, why not take that next step? Why not take all of those courses,
Hmm.
that I've learned for project management, and go take the project management professional,
Makes sense.
designation, right? So I did that. I passed and realized there was such a gap between what I had learned at university to what was actually on the exam.
Of course.
And from there, it kind of just spiraled. I co-founded a company with my business partner and my mother, and where she wanted to coach, and I was just going to support, but there was such a demand for individuals that needed that confidence to pass the exam, that I quickly developed a program and quickly had students enroll, and just seeing that transformation and that growth has been exceptional. But it all kind of stems back to that word impact that I had with my music. Um, I wanted to make an impact with my words, with how my feelings, with my emotions. And so what I do now when I coach individuals for their project management designation, it's the same thing. I want to really make an impact on their learning journey so they can hit that next level. It's a selfless thing. It's not about me or getting my name out there in my business and things like that. I really want to make a difference in the lives of individuals who don't have that confidence or don't foresee themselves as being able to hit that milestone because, they're not, they're not from Canada, or they don't have the language, or they don't think they have the skills or the project experience, or they just sell themselves short.
Of
And
course.
I really want to change that, because it doesn't matter, that all that is kind of surface level. That really doesn't matter. Everybody has it within themselves to be able to get to their goals, whatever that goal is. And so I kind of fell into the coaching thing, but it's been such transformation for me as, a leader, and what I bring to the table and how I help people, that, it's just a passion that's been unleashed, and that has kind of been into one specific industry of music, but now it's just opened up, and the world is my oyster now.
I can have so many questions over here, Kristen. Is that, but I can totally empathize. Now we are here. Confidently can say I can totally empathize because I'm a mentor with PMI, and I help students to get to the next level.
Mhm,
And specifically when this designation of PMP becomes very important, that's how they have to show their credibility. I help her, and I know the value because when I was writing the PMP exam, I was literally searching the net on what are the how's the steps to be done, what's to be done, and how it's to be done. And having a coach like you, and guys, anybody who's looking out for a PMP exam, I will put out Kristen's link on the comments below. Please do connect and see what you can get into. So now over here, one of the questions which comes up is that just a few years back, pre-COVID, you were right in front of the crowd. You had an audience, and now you come to this particular stage wherein it could be a lot of hybrid, or the audience is two or three, or maybe 10, but it could be something which is you're not in front of the screen, or you're not on the stage.
mhm.
How does your mind play the games?
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're saying. So, it was such a change because I'm not just a performer that, stands on stage in front of a mic. I'm one that is gallivanting all over the stage. I like to get into the crowd and talk, like go to the other end of the room and pull people forward and just really get everyone involved that they're having a good time. That didn't always translate on the screen. I'd be like,
Yes.
I found I was settling for more acoustic type things, or I was trying to learn video software to get myself and my bandmates, performing live together. I know we had a performance on uh, one of the stations in Hamilton, and there I was recording myself listening to a track, and then I would have the rest of everybody trying to play to a track, and it was just it didn't really work, and it didn't really invoke the emotion that I was trying to get
Mhm.
across. Um, I mean, pivoting is a part of life, and we all try it, and we all try it in different ways. Unfortunately, the ways that I knew or that I tried to work out didn't really work out for me. Not to say that I won't go back to music, but it was a big struggle. And so I just decided, okay, I will keep music. I will keep writing music and posting music and doing what I can, but the live factor will have to wait until COVID was over. Again, that kind of took longer than most people thought, but um, it's still there. It's still in the back of the mind. But everybody had to pivot, whether you were doing a conference or schooling, or everybody found a way to pivot. But it's very static. It's you're not getting the same reaction from individuals on the other side of the screen. I can't see you. Your mic is off and your camera's off,
Of
or
course.
I can't see you dancing around your room, or it just doesn't have that same feeling. And
Divide. Yep. Hmm.
then the self-doubt started to come in. Am I really doing this? How am I really impacting somebody if I can't see them? I'm performing to a dead screen. I may as well just record myself and not be live. All these sort of things started creeping in, but ultimately it's taught me a lot about how to overcome challenges and how to pivot faster. And you're going to have a plan, and it's going to be interrupted by something, and you just have to learn how to adapt and overcome and find new ways to get to where you want to go. And yes, I'm doing business and project management and coaching, but that's not to say that if an opportunity comes, I'll get back on stage and I will sing my heart out and everybody will come see me. But for now, it's just it,
Fair enough.
this is my direction for now, and helping people in different ways.
Here, I would ask you about. So you mentioned that when you got into music, you got into it when you were very young.
Yes,
Okay, I mean, by the time you reached a certain point of maturity, you could walk into it. And but coming to a point wherein you were playing for Icon and also being called for Lady Gaga's after show VIP parties, that's a huge leap.
it
Okay,
is.
and the second part was You got into 2 years of doing with Yorkville the business studies and project management, and you got into as a project manager. You started working around with projects. Now, both these elements, what I see is that two different trajectories,
Mhm.
but both of them would have had their own struggles
Yes.
to create a niche. So let's, if you don't mind, can we go to the first chapter of that life of music? What were the struggles that you faced along, and which made you still be more resilient towards your goal? Because now, when I just spoke to you, and when you're talking about music, your eyes just lights up. Yes, if I'm given a chance, I will go back over there.
Yeah, music's been it's been part of my life forever. Um, like I said, when I was 15, 16, I started my own sole proprietorship and went off as Kristen Karma, and that was it. But it wasn't all like I didn't have anybody to mentor me. I didn't have anything. I found a producer online. I said, "Here, I wrote, 3 songs. Can we record them?" And it was a learning experience as well. It was, why do you want to be a musician? Why don't you just, surround yourself with a bunch of keyboards on stage so no one has to see you? Like all of these comments, and really kind of shattered my self confidence. Having somebody so experienced in the industry come to you and say, like, you're not good enough to be a musician. Well, I took that and I was like, how do I get better? Take the lessons. I went and saw, Avril Lavigne's vocal coach out there for a couple of years out in Vancouver. I found people to help me with things that I thought that I had gaps in. Eventually moved on to a different producer and they had connections, but again, it was the same type of thing. Sink all your money into me, trust me, and then the trust is broken. They either run off with the cash or they don't finish the recordings, or all of these different struggles. And I'm going, am I really meant for this industry? But again, there's something inside of me that goes, I'm not here to be famous. I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to make an impact. If my words can make a difference in someone's life, in someone's day, can change a mood, can resonate with them in any way, then I am all for this. So that's where I kind of took a step back after working with several companies and just started doing my own demos and my own recordings. And I'd make sure that they were, 95% ready to go into a studio, so that I wouldn't have all these individuals telling you or telling me what I should do, what I shouldn't do, how I should record something, how the beat should be different, a different instrument, like all of these different things, because then you lose sight of yourself. And I was
Okay.
finding that. And you'll see, if anybody, decides to YouTube me or Google me, they'll see that I was pop rock when I first started. And then I was electro dance. And then I did even a kind of a rap urban thing with Lil
Yeah,
Jon. It's all over the map, but you can kind of see all these influences come in, and everybody has something to say about something. And just to kind of transition over to why I coach is because these individuals that come to me, they've been told they aren't good enough. They've been told that they don't have the skills, they don't have the experience, they don't have this, they don't have somebody in their corner. And I know from being in the music industry, that is very, very hard. I had, a few of my friends and my parents that were extremely supportive of me. And,
okay.
even when I had one person show up at my show, they were there. They were taking photos. They were doing the door. They were doing whatever I needed to help me grow. Um, but not everybody has that person in their corner,
True,
and that's
true.
it's huge for me to be able to champion that. Um, it did grow from there. I mean, I tried a bunch of different strategies. I started going to networking events, and I met, someone that was thinking about putting a Lady Gaga after party on. And I was like, how do I get there? Well, we don't know. And I then I had to position myself as the solution to whatever they didn't know what type of music. I am the solution. She is heavily influenced in my music. I can adapt, what I'm doing. So I can, even if it's one song, I didn't care. I was like, get me on that stage. If she has the possibility of showing up, again, not to be famous, but just to make an impact for all of anybody that shows up, um, to hear my music. And so it's that persistence that drives me to continue. Um, And from there, it just kind of snowballed when they were putting on another one. Um, Again, I reached out. Is there a spot? Can you? I don't care who's there, where it is. I will fly out to play it. Okay, it's not paid. That's fine. You know, you have to make certain sacrifices and decide
True.
what your right move is. But every step was a step in the right direction. And yes, it could have gone much bigger, but you know, I'm not focused on the what ifs. We can't
No.
focus on that. It needs to be that was a fantastic experience, and I would never change it. I got to where I wanted to get to. You know, I was in Billboard magazine. I charted on iTunes. I've won awards for my songs. I got to walk a red carpet. All these different milestones that I never thought I'd ever hit um, as an independent artist with no label and no management. So, as far as I'm concerned, that journey was phenomenal, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Amazing, amazing. So, guys, there are two things which I just picked up over years. One was creating an impact. So, Christian was not, I mean, about it was not about the titles, about the accolades, about what's what, but what impact she could create even towards Lady Gaga. And the second thing, which was one of the most important one, because that would have been my next question, is that what is that one extra step that you did to go from, I mean, breaking your comfort zone to creating the person you are? And the word she mentioned was persistent. Every single step, day in, day out, just being persisting. That's so amazing, so amazing. And now, when I'm talking to you, I think so. I can see the reflection when people are working towards the certifications or any exams, and you being in the corner and just being more than anything. I think so, being a cheerleader because you've
Mhm.
gone through it.
I have gone through it, and what I'm hitting right now is, you know, a lot of individuals approach me and they say, "I'm really interested in doing the PMP, but I'm going to do the CAPM, which is the Certified
Yep,
Associate Project Management." And so I go, "Why? Why do you think you need to take the CAPM? We have the same educational background. We took the same courses. Oh, I don't have experience." If that's the only thing that's stopping you, you need to be creative in how you think of things.
yes,
A project is something that has a start date and an end date. And you've been doing projects your entire life. It's just
of
finding the
course,
right projects to put them towards the PMP. And when I tell individuals that, they start thinking and the wheels start turning. And I'm going, your end goal is the PMP? Yes, it is. Okay, well, why would you put yourself through that exam like twice? Because it's only a difference of a couple of more questions, which are relatively the same, and then your project experience. You're working yourself up with the anxiety and the stress and everything of doing the CAPM. And then you're just going to do the same thing for the PMP because the PMP is what you really want.
of
So
course,
why are you settling for less? And I'm getting a lot of, oh, well, I just need to reframe that belief that I just don't have it or I'm not good enough or I don't know how to do it. And that's so huge with just talking to individuals. So be persistent, absolutely. But if you run into a roadblock, no matter whether it's music, business, project management, just yes, be persistent. You need to think of creative solutions to get out of it. Out of be an out of the box thinker
of
to
course.
get to where you want to get to.
That's so true because again, as I mentioned is that I've been a mentor for PMI in the West Coast as well as I'm a mentor for few of the universities over here like BT School of Management and BCIT and to name a few. Most of the time, the mentees who come in or even the coaches, I mean my clients who come in, I ask them is that how would you change this narrative?
Mhm.
How would you change the story that you're telling? So I believe it's the same way that you mentioned is that, okay, I don't know if I got the experience. Well, you have the experience. It's how you look at it. And that's how it comes up. And that's such a wonderful way of looking at it. Anyway, just being a little mindful of the time. Kristen, what I would want to ask of you, in fact, there's so many questions which is coming up, but for people who want to pursue now, you have got such a amazing spectrum from the music industry. to the business, security, aviation industry. If there are some key takeaways that you would like to talk about, uh, please go for it.
Well, I first say find your passion. What is your passion? Is it helping people? Is it operations, something where you get to design something? Is it something where you're being creative and have your own autonomy to do things? Is it research? Just find what you're passionate about, and that will open doorways for you. If you don't know what you're passionate about, try a bazillion different things. I have corporate security and risk management, aviation, operations, events management, you name it. You can see from a wide array of things, music, business, project management. But mine came down to me making an impact. You just have to figure out what you want to do. What's your legacy? What kind of legacy do you want to leave on this planet after you leave? What do you want people to think? For me, I made a difference in someone's life. That I'm doesn't matter music, business, project management, I made a difference. And that's what matters to me. As long as you find that out, you will find your pathway. It will open up. You will believe it's, you'll manifest where you want to go, where you see yourself, put yourself with those 3, 5, 10-year goals. Um, and it's amazing if you believe that you can do it, you see yourself there. It's amazing what happens. Everything just opens up for you. It sounds crazy, but it does.
It is a fact. It's a fact. And again, the last but not the least, tell us a little about karma coaching.
So, Karma Coaching Insights is an executive management coaching and project management coaching firm. It was founded this year with my business partner and my mother, and we coach on healthcare leaders and project management and just helping you get to that next step. If you're stuck in your position, you don't know how to get your voice heard, you don't have the confidence to make those bold uh, decisions or moves up the ladder, um, that's where we come in and we help coach individuals to get over that hump and to reach their full potential. Like I said, if you see yourself up there, we will help you get there. And it's really, really important to have a mentor because that will make all the difference from someone who has been there. Whether it's myself, struggling with people saying no all the time, or my business partner, my mother as well, who, has had cancer 3 times, who's been on her deathbed, who's hit that glass ceiling in the healthcare industry, who, she's been there as well. So with all of our experience, we can help individuals hit that next level, hit that, break through that glass ceiling and get to where they want to get to.
So, guys, this has been, at least for me, it has been an absolute beautiful journey. Thanks for taking us through it, Kristen. And we have got so many learnings in this particular podcast. It's about the perseverance, learning to stand up to the no's that you get. Be ready to pivot, but believe in yourself. And sky is what I could also say, that sky is not the limit. You can just go ahead where you believe, what your faith is, and your, it's not just about your potentiality. You can go more than that. And Kristen has shown, guys, from a rock star, a pop star, to a project management coach, it's an absolute different pivot. And all I would like to say is thank you so very much for your time. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on this particular podcast. And with this, I will stop my recording. Thank you very much, Kristen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.